Hey everybody, it's summertime in Costa Rica. It's summer. I actually am just trying to find a spot that's not so bright that drowns me out. It's summertime. Oh my God, I'm so grateful for this choice and this decision to be here in Costa Rica. So y'all ready for today? The power of the P. My favorite topic, but not like you might think. So hello everyone, if this is your first time tuning in, I am your host, LaTanya Taylor, the Rev Coach, also affectionately known as the Rev Coach, the Juicy Spirit Mama, the Priestess of Passion, and the Coach's Coach. So I'm really excited we made it to day 14 of our 14-day revival. Yay! Woo! I hope that you have been revived by this 14-day online revival out of the box and into the temple that we are the temple. We are the temple. And I hope that you have received nuggets. You can find the revival on Catch. All 14 days are on Catch. I'm going to check in with my community to see if you all want me to continue to do periscopes. But you know that I have an announcement, and I posted the link for those of you who responded to the event link on my Facebook page, LaTanya Taylor, the Rev Coach. Look me up on Facebook. It's at the top of the page. You still can RSV as going so that you can receive the alerts. In there is a gift for you. It's the one gift. It's one gift of a series of gifts that I will be giving really over the next, I'd say 21 days, because I'm unveiling some new products and programs. And so I'm so excited. Go on and take your sneak peek. I posted it in the group. So y'all ready for me to talk about the power of the P? Now, if you're in my community, still don't assume that you already know the power of the P, because of course your power and your P is different. So, okay, good. There's one yes. Just type in yes or ready if you're ready for me to go into this thing. If anybody knows me, you know that we're going to go at it in a whole different way than what we probably are used to. All right. So tell me, what do you think about, what are some words that come to you when we talk about the power of the P? Some of the words that come to thank you for inviting followers. You can swipe to the right or left and invite people to join. Just swipe it on your phone. See? Just do that. Okay, so when you hear the power of the P, what are some of the words that come to mind? Okay, purpose. Yeah. But what P comes to mind? Because when we talk about the power of the P, prosperity. Okay. Yeah. I thank you for being straight, jumping on in there. Yes. Pussy. Okay, pussies. You know, we've made the word, our culture has made that word a profane word. I'm happy when I see women able to use it without shame or without guilt. Because that word has been co-opted by perverts. That's a P for you. I almost said something else, but that's a P. The P, the power of the pussy, the yoni, the vulva, has been co-opted by people who malevolent forces that really don't love women. And it didn't just start, it has been happening over centuries, over time. Every woman this is relevant to, okay? I'm not going to go there yet. I want to position this for you, because all 13 days I've been talking to women. I've been talking to the divine feminine, because even if you're a woman and you don't know about the divine feminine, I'm still talking to you, because knowing is half of the battle. There are a population of women and men who have no idea about the power of the divine feminine. Okay? No idea. And just because men are sexual does not mean that they are truly orgasmic, because there's a difference between ejaculation and orgasmic, right? So if you're a man watching, and I like to say you are a man who loves us, okay? The power of the P. I want to talk about one P that's often not talked about when we talk about sexuality, prosperity, or purpose, okay? Some people have been saying that these broadcasts have been intense, that they have to go and do some digestion, that it's been bringing up stuff, okay? And this is really only intense for those who are still working to open their pineal gland. That's the first P. Have you all heard of the pineal gland? It is very significant for those of us who are melanated. Many of us, through the foods that we eat, through the chemicals that are in our water, and through the post-traumatic slave syndrome, through the conditioning of our psychology by religion, many of us have calcified pineal glands. Calcified. Are you with me? So when someone comes to bring information, oftentimes it's resisted or it's seen as intense, because our thinking capacity, our ability to have the third eye open to receive this type of information, is affected by this calcification. What I want to propose to you today is that the calcification is not just in the pineal gland, but it begins there. A lot of the times what we see with our so-called pussy power, if you will, it shows up in our money, our prosperity. I love it how we can be talking about God is this and pussy power that and God is, and all of this stuff, but we're broke. That don't go together. Or we're working for somebody and we don't know our purpose. We're not really walking in our purpose. We're reluctant leaders. There are many reluctant leaders. Calcification is seen when we hear the story of Lot's wife turning into a pillar of salt. You see, the Bible is full of metaphors, symbolism, and such. It's not quite the same, no. It's connected. And so when we see these things referenced, the calcification and the looking back, oftentimes we are so far in the past that we are not present, or we're so far in the future. So the calcification based on our diet, there's certain information that just can't get in. And this is why some of you get frustrated when you go to try to tell your family your new discoveries. This is why you get frustrated with being around people who have a really religious mind. It's calcification. There's nothing you can do about that. Maybe I will in a minute, but my whole talk is not just about how to decalcify the pineal gland. If you're in Good Girls Gone Goddess, I commit that I will post something on how to decalcify the pineal gland. I'm setting up this intentionally because we need to understand what we're interacting with in ourselves. Okay? Sometimes the things that we are experiencing in ourselves is that we've been calcified behind it. And so we have to go through a decalcification process with ourselves. We have to go through a decalcification process that causes us to be in resistance, that causes us to be in hiding. Literally, the sun is so bright that I am trying to find the best spot so that you can see me. That's how bright the sun is. So, there we go. You can see me. Yay! The calcification. So sometimes when we hit walls in ourselves, it's not imaginary. It's not imaginary. And so the second P is that we have to be patient. Well, first of all, let me go back to the pineal gland. The pineal gland is what allows us to receive information from on high. It is the thing that allows us to activate our spiritual gifts. It is natural for melanated people to be decalcified. It is the secret to why you see death in our communities, and because there is a malevolent force that knows about the power of our melanin and the power of us knowing, because you cannot enslave people who have open pineal glands. That is why I started with that P. You can't enslave people who have an open pineal gland, because when it's really, really open, you can time travel, you can astral project. You become a walking, breathing meditation. You don't need an intercessor as much. The reason why, even the way we have religion set up decalcifies us, because as a melanated people, we had a direct relationship with the divine, and we weren't in resistance to it. Prophets come to bring people who have forgotten who they are back in order. That's the role of the prophet, the messengers. And we have many messengers, and many of them have different assignments. This is not to isolate or condemn any one particular person who is operating in their message gift, okay? So, that's why the second P is patience. Because there is power in being patient with your process. There is power in being patient as you begin to remove layer and layer around from your guarded heart. And yes, there is power in your patience, even with your sensuality and your sexuality. What happens is we still have a magic bullet type of consciousness for when I talked about molestation and trauma and neglect and all types of things that we walk with. I just got off the phone with someone who told me that they had been raped and never went to therapy. Another person told me that they had been raped earlier this week and that they had never... they were not believed by their parents, but successful in their own right. That's because success, achievement can also become a refuge. And that can be the only way that some women know themselves. And that's why vulnerability can be challenging. I'm getting to the other P that everybody loves for me to talk about. And then there is power in the third one, in your purpose. Yes. Because when you're on purpose, you're not on automatic. And I encourage those of you who are working your 9-to-5 jobs to use this time to invest in your own preparation, the other P. Use the time that you are employed to set aside some money for things that you want to do, whether it be travel. Many of us have been taught to go to school, get a good job. Say this on every broadcast. Go get a good job, and then we're trapped by the job, because then you go buy a house, and then you have a mortgage, and you can't travel. You take a vacation once a year. You know, I love that a financial advisor told me once. He said, you know, he used, for example, Susie Orman. Susie Orman lives in a condo. She has the money to live in a mansion, but she chooses to live in a condo that she paid for below her means. And she puts her money in her investments. We've been taught one way to prosper, and that is, many of us, we go to work and we put it on our bodies. We put it in our children. I don't want them to have to want for anything because I did. Because I struggle, I don't want my children to have to struggle. So you have a population of children who don't know what it is to work through any challenges in their self, because everything's been given to them. I'm not talking about legacy, and many of us don't even know what that means to be legacy. Generational wealth is what I'm talking about. And it's not too late for you to decide, okay? There are some women who are well beyond 50 who know that they're working with a window of time in their prime, and they sometimes come in and take on their transformation process in a way that many of you who are younger don't even take seriously. There's something to be said about women who can dive into their process in a humble way after living and having experiences. So I'm talking about purpose. Another thing that came up in a session today, this sister was saying how she wanted to be a coach, and we were working with the heart. We were talking about the heart, and we were like, but when we asked about the coaching, then why? What is it? Why? Sometimes our purposes, the things that we think that we are purposed about, is just really our response to pain. There are many people who saying that they either want to be in ministry or want to be in coaching, who just want to go save people. But the truth is, you want to go save yourself. Because in focusing the attention out, then you don't have to focus the attention in. I personally believe that before people should be allowed to be ministers, that they should go through a transformational healing process. I literally think that. So some of my ministry friends that are reverends and stuff, you know, some of you who are doing your personal development work, that's an opportunity to create a program. Because how are you going to just get up and teach from your pain? I was floored by that, because that's not how I came into ministry. But I did 2 ordinations. See, I went through the personal development program first. I had to go through a personal development program. And then in the Baptist church, I had to go through another ordination process that was totally specified to the Baptist. The Baptist way, the Baptist protocols, the Baptist history. And I was kind of shocked when someone said they got called to ministry when somebody got shot or killed, and that's when they accepted Jesus and got called to ministry. And so when I thought that call, because my Baba, Pastor Willie Wilson, who I love and adore, he said to me, you know you're called, you know you're in your purpose when it gets so uncomfortable you can't do anything else. It's as close to you as your breath. A lot of you have a purpose, but it's minimized. Some of you are artists, but you were taught to use your intellect. It's been acceptable to be, to manage projects, to be an administrative assistant, to be a program manager, to be whatever. And you think that your calling is somewhere tied into that. But your purpose and your calling, you may be talented at many things, but purpose for a special thing. And that thing can be something so very simple, from baking, from baking to drawing to sewing to being the best tailor in your state, and then on a national level. Your purpose, when they say your gifts make room for you, it does. When they say when you do what you love, your money will follow. And that would be a great segue to talk about prosperity. I think I'm on number 4. The other P, the power of the P, number 4. And I'm getting to the power of the P that many of us don't want to talk about, or only want to talk about in a very categorized way. Okay? So, prosperity. Prosperity. The power of prospering. How many of you say that I don't like math? I don't like science. How many of you say that? You can just raise your hand. I can connect with you in spirit. I know I used to say it. We start to disassociate ourselves from numbers very, very early. Where do you think that comes from? Because when our pineal gland is open, we are the high scientists. We were the high scientists. Prosperity is available to us, but we really have it very inverted. We put our value on ourselves rather than in ourselves. And it's uncomfortable because there's so much guilt and shame around poverty and prosperity. And so the prosperity oftentimes is blocked by our bill consciousness. We only pray for a bill to be paid rather than the next idea that will set up your family so that nobody in your family will ever have to work a 9 to 5 again unless they want to. When we go to college, now for the average person to go to college, they're going to come out in multiple 6 figures in debt. That is commerce. And yet if your child told you, I don't want to go to college, I want to open this business, many of you mothers would freak out. Because the truth of the matter is, many of us as women have been taught how to make secure decisions rather than how to plan for our prosperity. And I'm one of them. I am one of them. I am you. And so I've had to learn. And that is when you meet places where you feel the calcification of your pineal gland. A lot of the prosperity that we are calling for or desiring has to begin at recognizing the power of the first P's. The pineal, patient. Because it is a mindset. We have to begin to heal our mindset around money, not just like one time. Not just read a good book. Not even just doing investment strategies, because you can do that and be lacking. I have a great friend who is very prosperous for the most part, but lack in the area of relationships and process. Prosperity is more than just about paper. Because if you study money is an illusion. The paper that we exchange, they are considered debt instruments. According to the Constitution, the only real money is silver and gold. And so if you do not have your money backed up by silver and gold, you are just exchanging accounts. That's what we're doing, shuffling accounts. And that's why when I talked about bankruptcy, what black people do is attach their identity to having versus not having. We have to attach our identity to the prosperity, the prosperous parts of who we are when we don't see evidence of it in our lives. And then we have to feed it daily. So if you want money, then you have to change how you even talk about money, how you talk about what choices and decisions you made. And your prosperity is absolutely connected to the last P, and that is your pussy. Because what others have made profane, your consciousness about who you are is what makes it sacred. Oh my God, this topic is so important to me because as women, I know that there's a goddess movement happening. You see the word goddess used everywhere or a lot of places. And for a lot of traditional people, it scares them because they call it something else. They think that it's the worship of something else. That's how afraid we are of our power as women. In order to access prosperity and purpose, we have to be okay with our power as in being a woman. And we have naming power. I mean, that is not the proper name, but it is the name that the culture uses over and over again. I'm the one that makes sacred. How can anything that I name or call be profane, be offensive? Many people are actually, they would get in trouble for calling, they would rather teach their children to call their genitalia some other part rather than to call it the vulva, which is what it is. Vulva is the entire system. So that being said, there is power in pleasure. That's the real one connected to all of them. Many of us only make decisions when we are in pain. And pleasure is an entry point at another level of transformation. Giving yourself permission, another P to consider, give yourself permission to even reach your prosperity, to reach your purpose, to open your pineal gland, that you don't have to take yourself so seriously. Pleasure is a pathway to transformation. I guarantee you, for those of you who enter into my programs or those of you who have entered out of my programs, that when you entered in, you had no idea that you were going to meet these parts of yourself that were calcified or in lack. Or you have co-opted your purpose to be something that someone else assigned to you because you couldn't find anywhere else to fit it. And so many of us have become, we have not been creative. You can name yourself and title yourself anything, but because we see other people doing things, and so we want to name ourselves that thing. It's the same thing that we do to our yoni. The relationship and the thread is consistent, and the common denominator is us. It's so easy to go back to pain because the pain is what makes us move. I know even for me, there have been times when I needed maybe to go to a doctor, but I try to treat myself with herbs. And then when the pain becomes unbearable, I'm like, ooh, please, can you see me? Can you see me? In medicine, any doctor will tell you, whether it be a toothache, a headache, menstrual cramps, that there is something called pain management. The moment that you feel the signal that you are in pain, that's when they recommend that you take, a drug, basically. You take action. Many of us wait until, this is why I say we won't heal. Some of us won't move until the cross becomes unbearable, until you decide to take the nails out of your own hands and feet. So you can't, when you come to coach with me about the feminine and about orgasm, it's deeper than just a technique. I respect those who are teaching techniques on how to, I definitely have participated in learning. And I say this all the time. In my study of Tantra, I thought that it was just going to be some breathing techniques and some yoga positions and postures that were going to open me up. Little did I know that it was my heart. That it was the out of the heart flows the issues of life. The calcification is happening in many areas, and this is why certain things don't stick or they can't move, or why we keep returning to it, because we haven't gotten the lesson yet. And I guarantee you, the more that we open ourselves, we open our heart, we open our yoni, we open ourselves to pleasure, to joy, to playfulness, to even risk taking and investing in ourselves in different directions, the more we open to be playful, the more we open to be to our purpose, because it can be scary answering your purpose when you're used to whatever it is that secures you. Because then we may have to meet the parts of ourselves that are resistant, that are afraid, that are closed off. And so the power of the P. Yes, you can use your P, your pussy, to manipulate people, and many of you have been doing it for years. We've been doing that for years. It doesn't take a coach, a spiritual advisor, a minister of spiritual consciousness to teach you how to do that. But I'm going to tell you, a lot of women will click on this link because oftentimes we want to use the power of the P in order to manipulate situations, so only to secure our possessiveness. Because we treat relationships as if they are property. And do you know why? Because it is in our collective history that women have been reduced to being property. This is why, okay, I'm not going to teach my curriculum. Ooh, okay. What I mean by that is sometimes women come and they want to know how they can keep their husband. And I always say, I post this frequently on my Facebook page. Many of you want to know how to keep a man or get a man while losing yourself. And that is why I did the teaching on the cost of hiding. It costs us more in the long run to continue to hide and invest in being calcified, rather than to make a decision that I am ready to decalcify my life. I'm ready to decalcify my sexuality. I'm ready to decalcify my money and my relationship with money. I'm ready to decalcify my relationship with purpose. You may start off doing one thing and you may end up somewhere else, but damn, at least start. At least give yourself a fighting chance to start. Try something. And then if it does not work, don't go into this whole shame and guilt mode about trying. You are worth it. You are worth it. You are worth it. You are worth it. You are a woman of worth. You're worth having pleasure. You are worth having your pleasure on your road to prosperity. You are worth having pleasure on your road to even decalcifying. You are worth it. We don't treat ourselves like we're worth it. We just get inspired. This is not just some little sermon. I am provoking you. How about the power of that P? This entire series, I've been intending to provoke the person who is willing to and ready, because we have to declare another kind of war. Willing, able, and ready. Because many women are in spiritual warfare with themselves, and we call it something else, or we have ADD and are distracted. So yes, there is power in your P when it's not decalcified. Yes, there's power in your P when you are patient. There is power in your P when you are walking in your purpose. There is power in pussy when you own what pussy means in an elevated, in a sacred way. And that is why in Good Girls Gone Goddess and in the work that we're doing, I am committed to putting the God back in Goddess. There are movements happening where God is not in Goddess. It's ego. And ego is easing God out. Ego is easing God out. And I'm not talking about God in a religious way. Okay? I'm talking about God, generator, operator, destroyer. Because we can be God for good, and we can be God for destruction. Each one of us. And many of us are being God. We're being God with the power of our P. But I ask you, are you being God to generate what it is that you say that you desire in your life? Are you moving in the direction as an operation, a daily operation? Many of you wake up and you go run the operation of other businesses, don't you? But what is your daily operation for your pineal gland? What is your daily operation for your pussy or vulva? What is your daily operation for pleasure? Or are you on automatic pilot? Are you in self-protection? Are you just a whole bunch of this? Okay, y'all not giving me no hearts today. This is the 14th day. I gotta drop it like it's hot. I gotta drop this thing like it's hot. This is the 14th day. And if you are on autopilot, if you are in survival mode, you are choosing it. At some level, you are choosing it. There are some people who are doing it by default. But if you are one of the ones who say, I've been doing work on myself for so many years, and I just don't understand, there are some blind spots. That's all. That's all that there are. Now, I want to help you with those blind spots, my loves. So I said that I was going to wait. I posted the announcement in the group, so I'm just going to jump right into it today. If you have been getting some usefulness in outside, here in nature, sharing with you, I think that I'm a lot better when I'm stationary and I'm able to teach in a structured way, because that is my background as an educator and even as in spiritual psychology. Would you be willing to join me at least 2 to 3 times a week on a brand new radio show? And guess what the name of it is? Guess where we're going with this thing? You ready? You ready? You ready? Come on now, somebody tell me if you're ready. Shoot. No, not the power of the P. No. Ready? Okay, you ready? You ready? You ready? Yes, you ready? You ready? Hell yeah, you ready? Okay. We are going to go into this thing nurturing the goddess with the G-Spot Live. Mondays and Fridays, the G-Spot Live. Now, some of you are already in one of the G-Spots. And that is Good Girls Gone Goddess. The name of that group will be changed a little bit to the Goddess Collective. And so we're going to work these G-spots, baby. We're going to heal our relationship with sex, love, and money. And we're going to do it in an incremental way that is going to be easier and more effortless, and it's going to create the manifestation that you desire. And I'm talking about real results, no bullshit. Real results. It's not Good Girls Gone Goddess is a closed group, but it's searchable. You can find it on Facebook. And then I'm building up to this is not even the big announcement. Because I posted in the event link a little teaser. Go click on the link. Go leave me a comment to let me know that you saw it. When you click on the link, and when you go, it's going to take you to a teaser of what I'm getting ready to introduce. It's called the Game Changer. I won't even give you. I'm calling it the Game Changer for now. Okay? And then there's another one that I'll be unveiling that's going to be a 5-week way to activate these places in us that have been calcified and continue to live in our sweet spot. Now listen, if you are alum and you have already completed one of my programs, it's going to be remixed, honey. So I guarantee you that this is going to be, all of it is going to be a game changer. So go to the link, go to my Facebook page. I'm working on a brand new website. So when you go to my website, you're going to see the same things, but it's being worked on and formulated. It's under construction. Okay. And so I thought that everything was going to be ready, but everything is not ready. It's in phases. And so I know in the creation process, in the feminine process, there is a way of creating that is, it's slower. It's more yin. And I have to caution myself on becoming too yang in my delivery. So if you're in private coaching, now, if you're really serious and you're ready to work with me right now, and you have been a previous client at any time, I have a very special offer for you to get into this beta test that I'm doing for previous clients, okay? The reason why I'm doing it for previous clients is because they have the context of work that they've already done on themselves, and many of them are just going to the next level in their business. In my private coaching, I work with more people who are implementing businesses or an aspect of their business or a relationship that they desire to manifest, or the feminine healing work that is done better one-on-one. Okay? So everything is being remixed for Rebirth International. So there is power in your P's. Woo, it's power. There is power. There's power. Thank you so much for joining me for this series with you. Go check out the links that I posted if you RSVP'd. If you're in Good Girls Gone Goddess, I might have posted in there last night. I don't remember. I probably was delirious because I was working all the way through the day with fixated in multiple screens and doing all this stuff. And so your mama is over here putting in work, baby. She got something. She is birthing something. I am so pregnant. I'm so pregnant, and I'm so excited because I get it. I understand what it is, what some of our blocks are, and why we keep repeating. Oh my God, like really? So I just love y'all. There's nothing you can do about it. Thank you for joining me on this 14-day revival. I am going to talk to those of you in my community to see if you want to hear from me on Periscope. In addition to the G-Spot Live. Yeah. And I'm going to make sure that you can find it, okay? I love y'all. I got to go now. I've been talking to you far too much. If you have any questions, comments, or anything, talk to me in Good Girls Gone Goddess. Everybody knows that I'm very accessible there. All right. Talk to you later. Okay. More Periscopes, you say, huh? Okay. All right. That's one. As usual, it doesn't want to end. More scopes. Okay, sugar. More scopes. More scopes. More scopes. Something is going on my fingertips. It doesn't want to end the broadcast, so I don't know what to do. Bye, y'all. I love you. It's doing that. I might as well pose then. It shooks if it's gonna do all this stuff. I think it's too much sun. Make sure